Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Welcome back to Palestinian Diaries, a podcast by Sinar Daily, where we share the untold human stories from Palestine and the region. I'm your host Sharifah Shahira, and today we are really honored to have with us someone whose recent journey has deeply moved many Malaysian, and she was among the Malaysian volunteers who joined the Global Summit Flotilla. So without further ado, let's welcome Iylia Balqis. Iylia, thank you so much for being with us today, and welcome to Palestinian Diaries. Before we go deeper into today's topic, right? Maybe you can start to introduce yourself. Who is Iylia Balqis in your own words?
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks Sinar Daily or the Palestinian Diary. Actually, it was my first time to know. We have a Palestinian Diary, and I think it was a very good move.
Thank you.
A very good initiative by Sinar Daily, mashallah. So my name is Iylia Balqis. I am the Global Sumut Flotilla activist from the Sumut Nusantara group. Is the Asian countries collective participant that joined the Global Summit Flotilla. So I am a full-time project coordinator in Cinta Salam Malaysia, where I work with Cinta Salam Malaysia almost 5 years, and we have been besides helping the Syrian refugees in Syria, Turkey, and also Malaysia and Lebanon, I am also focusing on the education initiative for the Syrian refugees in Malaysia and also in outside Malaysia. But because we have a school here, we have almost 80 Syrian refugees in our school. So I am the project coordinator that focusing on the education sector in Malaysia. So that is just a very rough introduction about me.
Alright, amazing introduction. So Iylia today is here today to share her experience from the preparations before departure, and also to life about the ship, and also the tense moments during detention, and what she learned from this extraordinary journey. So for people who's tuning in right now, we can know the story behind all the Global Summit Flotilla mission. So to start off, maybe Iylia, you can share what motivated you to join the Global Summit Flotilla mission, and how did you become involved in the project Cinta Salam Malaysia, and how did that lead to participating in GSF?
Okay, actually the first moment we didn't know this was going to be a very global movement. It's very all the news from the Al Jazeera, Middle East Eye that is going to do the coverage for the Global Smoke Flotilla. So initially, because I've been working with CSM since the 7th of October 2023, where the first Taufan Al-Aqsa started. I was working behind doing the posting and content on social medias, on Telegram, educating, advocating Malaysians about what is happening in in Palestine. So when the word started come out to find volunteers for the Sumut Nusantara, so I thought it was a call for me, but not yet, because I have to go through my parent first. So it was a very tough decision, because for a youngest daughter from 3 siblings and all girls, it's not a very smooth preparation, you know. Okay. But Alhamdulillah, Allah moved my father's heart. He, in less than 5 seconds, when I told him about the mission, and he shared some concern, how do women treated, and so forth. I see it previous mission, all is well. Everyone went there to the jail and stuff, but all goes back to their own country in one piece. So he said, okay, then just go, and then just ask your mother for permission, and if she's allowed, then I am allowed. I will give you my permission. So I asked my mother, and she said it's okay, just go, just solat, pray, and then ask Allah for guidance if this is the true blessed journey, And then because I am working at CSM, and Sumut Nusantara prioritize those who's in the NGO sectors. So we have CSM, Cinta Salam Malaysia, we have participants from Cinta Gaza, we have Charity, we have Global Peace Mission Malaysia. The prioritized the selection were given to NGOs because we've been to missions before. Okay. Just for us to have the mentally and physically prepared to go for a very big and serious mission. This is not like the general, the usual mission that I've been to Syria, to Turkey, to Lebanon. I've been there many times, and I can assure you it's not the same, because we've been sailing for almost 1 month. There's things to be, limited, like we have limited water, we have limited food, and then there's a lot of nationalities that we have to deal, different people, different nationalities. So it was a very new experience for all of us. But alhamdulillah, because everyone, all of the 23 participants were in the NGO's background, so all of us were okay throughout the whole journey. So I think is that answered the question?
Yes.
Okay. Our CEO, Tuan Musa Anwari, he is also the Nadia Anuri's brother. Okay. So he actually proposed in our office, in our colleagues who want to join. So I am the second one to wrote my name. So after Musa Anwari is my name, because I said like my parents allow me to go, and then everyone was like, why? What drives you? What are you crazy? You're because I'm the second one. Okay. And everyone was like, should we go? Should we not? And then some were asking from the parents, and then some were thinking really, really hard to go or not to go. Will they die if there's anything happens? I was like, no, it's right or die. We just go. Whatever happens, happened, and whatever happened, we just face it. Because this is a very wake-up call for all of us. So, and Malaysian participating in the Global Smoke Flotilla is the first time, because there has been multiple attempts since 2008. So this is the first time where the Asian countries or Malaysians involved actively with Brother Nadia Anuri as the steering committee as well.
Wow. I'll just give you
second question.
Yeah. Okay. Before setting sail, right, there's a lot of preparations made. So what preparation did you and your team undergo in terms of logistic, like a mental readiness, and yeah?
Okay, so actually when we gave out our name, we were told that it's not confirmed. Like the probability is not 50-50, it's probably like 10-90 you won't be going, 90%, because they have to filter stuff out. But because of some of the influencers like Zizi Kirana and Ardel and Piu Rahmat, they might go because of their influencer title, because the objective for the Global Smoke Flotilla is to break the silence. So if they send someone like me who's not a so-called celebrity or influencers background, they will filter out people's. So but then alhamdulillah, I got selected and we managed to break the silence. Okay, and then we didn't have really time to prepare, because we have 24 hours to buy stuffs. When we know that we were selected, in 24 hours, Brother Nadir said like we have to go now. At 11 p.m. that time, but then the flight ticket was very, very expensive. It's almost 8,000 because we buy a one-way ticket. So we discussed like, because some of us has to pay for the ticket, so we said, can we try to check if tomorrow still got time? So in 24 hours, we have to buy stuff, and then some of us are preparing things. So I went to Decathlon. We buy lots of stuff because this is our first time on a journey, on a mission to sail. So we don't know what stuff do we need. We don't know, like, because previously we went to mission in Syria and Lebanon. We were staying in like camps, so we don't have to bring sleeping bags, we don't have to bring stuff, because they prepared all the stuff for us, the mattress and stuff. But in a boat, we have to buy sleeping bags, raincoats if there might be raining, and then we have to buy the bag cover, and then we have to buy protein bars. So some stuff like we didn't even know that, but we have one-stop center Decathlon, so we spent almost 500 ringgit to buy all the stuff, because we have to buy a whole new things. And then when saying about mental and physical preparation, we don't have enough time. We were mentally preparing ourselves throughout the journey from Malaysia to Barcelona, and it's still like we don't have time for our family time, because before our flight to Barcelona, we actually have the convoy, the road tour from Kelantan, people from south, people from north. I was involved in the road tour as well, from I think it's Thursday, Friday and Saturday we went on a road tour. I have to drive from Bani at 2 a.m. have to go to Kelantan, and then from Kelantan we travel through Terengganu. So the weekend is very, very packed. I don't have any time with the family, with my family. And we have the carnival with the Prime Minister YB Anwar Ibrahim. So it was a very packed moment, packed weekend. And then we know like the next following days we have to prepare to go to Barcelona. Mentally and physically we weren't prepared at all. But Alhamdulillah, you know, Allah guided us through, and then we went to Barcelona. We had a 2 days intensive training. They trained us how to face the IOF, the OQ, what do we call? Can I ask? I cannot say the word.
What?
The IOF.
Okay.
This is TikTok. Okay. We have to face the IOF. The training, mental preparation. What do we need? What document do we need to sign? And yada yada yada. That 2 days, the intensive from 8 to 5 is a 2 days, 2 intensive training for us. And then after the 2 days, we have to prepare to go and sail. So it's a very pop day.
Yeah.
We don't have time to. You don't have time to take a deep breath and just let it go. No, we have to go. So mentally and physically, we are not prepared. But Alhamdulillah, we went through it so well, because I think the relationship between the Malaysians, because the first team, or we call it Team A, from the Barcelona team, we have Zizi Kirana, we have Ardel, we have Piyu Rahmat, we have Harox, and Brother Musa, Brother Haikal from CSM, and also Brother Muaz. We have been close since before. So we've been to many missions together. So our relationship are very good. So we don't have to like introducing ourselves just to break the ice. We don't need to break the ice. The ice is already melted. So it's easy. So we video call every day. We do live on TikTok every day, just to make ourselves comfortable and happy throughout the sailing. Yeah.
All right. Okay, maybe you can take a break. Okay. Okay, that's a full input of that. So maybe you can share a bit about your expectation going to the mission, and did the reality mirrors them?
Expectation, the reality for Palestinian, or
going there, like, do you, like, before going there, like, do you have like expectation, and did the reality mirror them?
Okay. So after we been out from the prison, we had a Malaysian women moment in the we call it Black Maria, the bus that carries the prisoner to the airport. So we were saying like my experience throughout the mission is very peaceful and calm, not because it was peaceful and calm, but because I put an expectation that was much worse. So, and then it come to a conclusion, like, because I put the expectation, the worst expectation, and what happened is the less worst. So I was like, Alhamdulillah. You know, that was the key point for the mission. Like I expected, when the interception happened, we will get beaten, we will get probably like a strip search, maybe something could happen, because previously speaking, they were getting beaten when the interception happened. But Alhamdulillah, nothing happened during interception. So they were very kind. They were playing the good cop. And then because we had such, I think, a noble presence in our boat, we have like Nelson Mandela's grandson, we had Greta, we had Tiago and Yasmin, such a very noble person. So they need to portray a good cop things, but we know the one that intercepted us is actually those who kill babies and women. So how do we cope with that? Because we are prepared that, oh, you know, the one that intercepted us is those who kill babies. So they don't have humanity left, but it's their propaganda, it's their way to portray that they are the good cop, so that we would tell the people on our country, oh, we were intercepted in a very happy way. They let us go to toilet, they let us eat, they let us smoke and pray. But then it's just, we call it like acting to make them look good. And then things happen in the prison and also in the immigration post, where the true colors begin, where we see the real part of them. And yeah, even in the prison, I was expecting a very harsh condition, and where there would be no toilet, no drinking water, and you know, that kind of thing. Even the harassment part for the women, I thought that would be a very serious sexual harassment, because previously speaking, there was strip search and they were photographed women. So I was prepared for that. So, but then that didn't happen. So I thought like, oh, okay, then it's good. So having a worst expectation is very, very good in this kind of situation, so that whenever nothing happens, you will be more calm, because we are scared to be on the mission, basically and truly speaking.
So just now you mentioned that when your vessel like Alma was intercepted, right? So they portray a playing good cop. So maybe you can tell like what happened during that, and your emotion, your feelings, like how are you and others treated at the moment, and how you feel.
Okay, when we got intercepted, they came with a speedboat, a very, very bright, with a very, very bright a spotlight, sorry. And then they came to our boat like in a second, in a blink. They just got to the top deck, where we are already ready there to be intercepted, with our hands up. It's not saying that we are surrendering ourselves, no, it's to say that we bring peace. We didn't have any weapon, and this is not a sign of surrender, it's actually a sign of victory. And then they came to our boat, and the first sentence they said like, okay everyone, we are the Israeli army, we are here to intercept your boat. We didn't mean any harm, we just want to check you if you bring any weapon and stuff. And I was like, oh wow, that's so smooth and kind. And then we were in a circle, and then they broke all the CCTVs and all the Starlinks, they broke everything, and then we are gathered at one point at the very far behind of our boat. And then they start to call one by one, and then they just search if there's any weapon, and then they just take our passport and just keep for the documentation. And then they even handed like a seating pad for Nelson Mandela's, or I call him Chief Mandela. He offered to sit on a seating pad, and they was like, friend, here, take a seating pad. And then me and one Turkish woman, we was like, oh friend, what a way to call chief. And then they were having all the cameras on their vests, so we know it's like a propaganda. And then they were handing out drinking water and stuff. So we were told not to take the water, so that it won't be another media stunt for them. So, and then they was like, oh okay, it's going to be very hard to sit on the top deck, so let's go down, and then it's more comfortable there. Oh wow. And I was like, mashallah, it's very, because they know we have a lot of people from other nationalities in the boat, so I'm pretty sure all the steering committee were even shocked to see how they treat us. And then we were sitting in the deck, with all the 29 of us were packed in one space, and then we had to sleep there. And then because there's nothing to do, because it's a 16-hour journey from the place we got intercepted, which is 60 nautical miles from Gaza, and then it took us 16 hours to go to the port. So when so during the time we just sit, and then some of us were talking, but I was just sleeping because there's nothing else to do. And then we can go to the toilet, we can go to smoke, not we lah, they went to smoke, and then we can pray outside. So because what we saw is they are new army, they are not the elite army, so we can see like they are not well trained enough. Probably they were sent to intercept us. And then when we reached to the port, we had to wait. We were gotten intercepted at 8 p.m. and we arrived at the port around 9:30 p.m. We were sitting at the ground outside the immigration port. So there they hold us for about 3 hours. No, 4 hours I think, because 9. And then at 1 p.m. we had to move into the immigration post for the checkup and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So during the prison that you shared that they show their own colors, right? Their true colors. Sorry. Could you walk us through what you experienced, especially with regards to that treatment that that we heard previously, that women with tears, hijab, and also access to basic necessities like medicines.
So it started in the immigration post. It's like we went there. It's like an airport, just a normal airport where they search you and search your bag, and then they started to open our backpack, and they start to throw everything inside. They saw like Anything liquid, they threw. Anything with watermelon or with Palestinian flag, they threw it out. So our bag got very, very, very light, because like half of our stuff are gone. Even sanitary pad, adult diapers, food, everything got thrown out. And then when they were throwing out, when they threw out all the stuff, they was like smiling as if it could trigger us. And then there are like 7 to 8 stations, like where we bring our file to go to document and then to photograph and then to sign things up. And then we were taken to the prison. So before we're taken to prison, they blindfold us and they zip tied our hand in front. So that I'm not sure, probably it's something private, from the immigration post to the Black Maria bus, and then they blindfold and put our hands, tie our hands together, and then it was almost 3 hours journey from the port to the prison. So when we reached the prison, it was actually around 5 to 6 in the morning, and then we were seated in a cage, in a wired cage. So there are 2 wired cages, so we call it, in Malay we call it kandang, because it literally looks like we were cows sitting in a cage. And then they call one by one, and then they ask if you want to stay or if you want to go. And then we changed our clothes to the grey clothes that we saw on the videos now, on the viral video where the Palestinians were, all the detained Palestinians were released from the prison. If you can see the grey sweatshirt, that was the same sweatshirt that we wore. So that's why we can connect to the Palestinian when we saw the video. And then we went to the second medical checkup, the so-called medical checkup, just to show how good they are. And then they denied the medical access. Some of the participants needed insulin, so they handed out insulin, but they take out the medicine. So they just give a like empty insulin pen. And then some of them were, one woman in my cell, she had a bowel problem, so she cannot eat and cannot drink without having the medicine. And they denied the medicine also. They said, no, you cannot have that, you have to go, yada yada. They have a lot of alasan?
Okay, reason.
Reasons. And then she said, like, no, I have to eat the medicine. If not, I will end up in the emergency. And I don't want to enter emergency hospital in Israel, because I know I would be treated really bad. And then, of course, we were in the prison. We were denied fresh water, clean water, because they know we need clean water. So we had to drink from the sink water in the toilet. Some of the guys will gotten diarrhea because they had to drink water from the sink. And then the food that they serve, it's like if you went to zoo, to any zoo, they serve like carrot and some veggies. That is the same. Like when I look at the food, I was like, this is like they are treating us like animals. They give out like a big chunk of carrots, and also like cabbage, not the light and the very, very thin. No, it's the center of the cabbage. And then they give a green peas and also bread. So some of us went to hunger strike. They didn't eat anything. But for me, but for the Malaysian, I think most of us didn't have a hunger strike. So we just had the bread, because the hunger strike was initiated because we are scared that they would serve us any poisoned food. And some cell got the rotten eggs. They boil eggs and then they give to cells, and then it is already rotten. But our side didn't take it. I think all the cell got probably different food, because and then we had bread with strawberry jam. So we had food, but if you want to eat, then you can eat. If you don't want, you don't have to eat. I just eat bread to let go of the hunger, because we are staying like 2 days, 1 night in the prison. If I didn't eat, probably I don't have any energy to stay throughout the day.
Okay. All right. How do you manage to remain mentally strong during detention, and what keep you hopeful or grounded?
It might sound cringy, but I think throughout the journey, we as a Muslim, we had we had Allah to stay true. All of this. And I think those who went on a sail, we are putting a lot more support or guidance with Allah. We don't have anyone to hold on to, so we were finding something that could really help us, which is Allah. That is the only way. And even one funny story is when we were having training in Barcelona, we were having the interception simulation. In any case we were intercepted, how would we react? How is the thing goes? So everyone was sitting in a circle, like there's like I think it's 10 to 20 circle each, and then they shut down all the lights, and then they played the wave or some sea background music, and then there were actors who act as the IOF, and then they will come, okay everyone, heads down, put your hands up behind. They were creating the simulation as if how the IOF will come and how would we react. And then after the simulation finish and everything, okay, so the MC or I think that one is Tiago, he asked, what were you thinking, what were you feeling when the interception happened? So one woman from United Kingdom, he raised her hand and she said, it's very weird how I was searching for something, for someone, and suddenly she said Allahu Akbar. Yeah, and she is not a Muslim, but she felt like she had to hold on something, and it's Allahu Akbar. And then that time I was getting goosebumps. I was like, MashaAllah. I told Kak Zizi Krana, I was like, MashaAllah, we had Allah. And when the mental health session, they were saying like, how do you cope? How do you overcome stress and depression? And people were saying, oh, I play board games, I sing, I play guitar or something. And then I said to Kak Zizi that we had Allah. We only hold on to Allah, and then inshallah He will get us through everything. And then, as we know, like if you saw any videos from Palestine where they wrote Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil on the wall, and then throughout the journey, only then I can feel what Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil really mean, because that is the only way we hold on. We have something to hold, and we know Allah is the best guidance. He is the best helper, because we have no one. Let's say the boat sink in the middle of Mediterranean Ocean, like we can just they have like things like radar and stuff, but in the end it's Allah who moves the heart of the people to come and help us. So it's a very tough one, and I really love like how we can. And if you ask me like what do I feel during the interception, I would say I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel scared. It's just an empty feeling that, oh, it's just another immigration thing where they come and check our clothes and stuff, but I didn't feel scared. It's just, it feels weird because it's like an empty. And then when they were intercepted, I was sleeping. It was a peaceful sleep, and I just wake up and I just read Quran, one juzu, and then after subuh I read one juzu, and then I sleep, and then I wake up for Zuhur and Asar, and then I read Yasin, because I'm scared that the Quran, I cannot bring the Quran to the prison. So I just read Yasin, and then I close, and then I go to sleep. And one of the Malaysians was like, Iylia inside the boat when during interception, she always sleep. I was like, what else can I do? You know, I've done my obligation as a Muslim. I've done whatever God need me to do. I prayed and I prioritized my mental. I sleep. So I think that is the one thing that made me strong throughout. It's sleep.
All right. So maybe people want to know as well, like you've been in the what activities that you did with your team, like to go to Gaza, it takes a long time, right? What activities that you did
in the boat?
Yes.
It's just a normal day where we woke up at early morning, and then we did our breakfast. It's like anything you want to eat, cereals or you want to eat eggs. We can use 1 egg per day. And then we had a morning meeting at 10, and then sometimes we had trainings like 2 times or 3 times a day. 3 days, once every 3 days or once every 2 days, we had training, interception training. We had abandoned ship training. If anything happens, if the ship was being attacked, where should we go? How should we react? That was abandoned ship training. And then we had fire drill training. If there's fire, like the one when we were in Tunisia, our boat Alma got attacked. It was very, very quick. In less than 5 seconds, the fire got washed away because of the team very, very alert. And the last one is what? Another training. One, two, three. Oh, drone training. If drone come approach to our boat, how do we react? So we just stay, because during our time when we were on our way to Greece, we were attacked with 13 attack, and was stun grenade, drone carrying stun grenade, where they suddenly like boom in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the sea. So how do we react to that? So the trainings are very, very useful for us throughout the journey, and then we just had our media or any social media works. For some of the people in the boat is a famous person. We had an Irish Thai. He's an Irish comedian, so he always do lives and do videos. Even we have a singer. She also have interviews. So that is the time where we do interviews and stuff. So yeah, and then we had only one meal per day that is cooked and also distributed to everyone else. Yeah, I'm on the cooking team.
Right. Okay. So, what do you want the general public, like both Malaysia and internationally, to understand about the Global Sumut Fertilizer Mission beyond what has appeared in news report?
I really think what we're happening now, because the objective for the Global Sumut Flotilla, as I mentioned, is break the silence and break the siege. It was not to enter Gaza. So people were getting misinformed that, oh, your mission is not successful because you didn't enter Gaza. Who said we want to enter Gaza? Because if we didn't break the siege, we won't enter Gaza. So the first one is to break the siege, and the second one is to break the silence. And we successfully break the silence, because now everyone around the world are speaking about Global Sumut Flotilla and about Palestine, and also during our mission, we can see like changes in the geopolitical dynamics. We can see like people are recognizing Palestine, and when we can see how Spain and Italy supported our movement, and then we can see like, and I believe probably the ceasefire that happens now might be driven by the Global Sumut Flotilla, probably because they are getting pressured by all the citizens that were on the boat. So they see like, now people can see like how true it is. What is happening in Palestine is a genocide. It's a crime against humanity. It's a apartheid. It's a killing of baby and women. It's against all the law. So we have to put an end on it, because if we didn't put an end on it, probably Palestine is not the very last. Probably there are another country that goes through the same thing as what Palestine is facing. So, and I was very lucky to have Chief Mandela on the boat as well, because I believe, as Nelson Mandela once said, like, African isn't fully free until Palestine is free. And I think it was a very strong statement, because what was happening in South Africa is apartheid, and what was happening in the Palestine is the same thing. And we can see all the white supremacists and stuff. It's happening in Palestine. So it's a wake up call to all the country. And South Africa is the one who bring to the International Court of Justice what is happening in Palestine is actually a crime against humanity. So we can see like how South African is bringing something to the world. So that's why I say the presence of Chief Nelson in our boat is really, really a lucky one for me, because I can hear the backside story of what happening in South Africa from him himself as the grandchild of Nelson Mandela. So I think it really opened all the blind eyes, and I think it's impossible to say that I don't know what is happening in Palestine, because we are living in 2025. I said this multiple times. We have our social media. It's a 24 hours live. If you search on Al Jazeera, it's 24 hours live, and it's so funny that we had to update all the killings. Like it shouldn't be anything. It shouldn't be. There shouldn't be genocide happening in this world, and the Global Sumut Flotilla is not supposed to be there, exist. because of the world they should do something, but then it's us who did something. It's us who didn't have the power. We will bring in the voices to the government. Yeah.
Okay. So just now you mentioned that netizens having a misconception, right? So do you feel like, because there have been like some negative comments like online questioning your mission purpose, with some even calling it merely like a publicity act, and also questioning why women are involved. Instead, they saying like staying at home is better, and others criticize it. It's a failed mission, right? So that shouldn't be glorified. How do you personally respond to such criticism misconceptions?
I always tell my Musa, I say, criticism is the very best thing to spread the awareness, because when people criticize, that means our job is not done yet. We have, like, people are having misconception because we are not portraying very well. So I think that is the only way that we can advocate people. And then we have supporter from Malaysia. Like, the criticism is just like very a small group, and then we shouldn't be focusing on this small group, because we have a larger group who's supporting us. So, and then if they say it's popular for popularity and stuff, the people who have been on board has already populated before they went on board. We have Zikrana, we know she's a very famous singer, and then we have Arda, she's a very famous actor, and then we have Piyu Rahmat, he's a very famous preacher. So they don't need to be on the boat to be famous. Okay, so I think that is just a funny statement just to let us down. But then they have been in this arena, in this field for such a long time, more than 5 years. So they have been critiqued by the people around the way. So you cannot critique them because they don't even care about the critique. But then I think it's our job to let people know what we are doing is a success, even though we didn't go enter Gaza, even though the humanitarian aid is stuck in Israel. But then we know that the silence has already broke. People are talking about Palestinian. The ceasefire is happening now. We don't know when the Palestine will be free, but the the result shows that now people are talking more and more about Palestine. All the advocacy is happening because of the voices from the Global Smoke Flotilla activists, and people saying like women shouldn't be there, shouldn't be here. We know that we need the emotional touch from the women, and where we are heading to Gaza is the people who are being the genocide target are actually women and babies. So if there is no women and baby killed, I think okay, we don't have to send women. But now we have baby and women killed, and then we have those who will kill their son and daughter will kill, and their husband. We need someone to comfort the woman. And then I don't think we have to say like if women needed or is women are not needed. I think the thing is like, where were you when we needed you? Because you were talking and saying stuff, but now we need your support. We don't need like you to question. And funny thing is, they question about the women involvement when we are on our 5th day sailing. We already on a boat. Whatever you were saying, you cannot do anything because we are already in the boat. And then and then we went on the boat on the sailing with the permission of our mother and father, and also some of the their husband. All were giving, all were saying okay with it. So I think it's okay if our family is okay with it, that should be done. You don't have to come and to be our second family that saying that against the decision. So it's so weird.
Okay. They also like misconception that other misconception, like, do you feel like your group is a Malaysian team which had a handful of influences, public figures, and it might say like has overshadowed other flotilla missions? They said, do you think that there was too much focus on the Malaysians and the success of Malaysians returning to the true, like it's not focusing on the Gaza, instead they're focusing on the Malaysians and the success?
Okay, what were told to us activists for the Global Smoke Flotilla or Sumut Nusantara, whatever you are doing, make sure to return back to the Palestinians. So that is what we are doing. We are not going on the sailing boat just to just to glorify ourselves, just to say that we are the most activist, humanitarian person in the world. No, we are doing social media posts and we relate to what Palestinians were having. And then now you can see whatever, you can see the Palestinian that was released in the prison, Malaysians are more attached or more, they can relate to the Palestinian that were released because there are Malaysians who were in the same spot or in the same condition as the Palestinian. So people can relate to the Palestinian. Now that is what we are facing. That is what we are there for. That's why we are saying about what we were facing in the prison. We were blindfolded, we were doing this and doing that. It's not that we want to share our experience, but because if you were in the prison, I'm pretty sure you will tell everyone what you were facing in the prison. It's just to let people in Malaysia know what we were facing is the same as what Palestinians were facing, but what we were facing is just like a glimpse of it. And like I stayed there for 2 days and 1 night. The Palestinians that were released were held for almost 22 months or 22 years, sorry. So that is the thing that, and then we were privileged to be released from the prison, and people were, and then we have a home to go, we have a family to meet, we have a job to keep. But the Palestinian, they were released from the prison, they don't know who is still alive in their family, where are they going. So that thing is what makes us connect to the Palestinian back. So I think an influencer are the one thing because they had the audience. It's not like we bring professionals, we have doctors, we have nurses, we have captain engineers, we have a lot of profession in our boat. And then we have influencers because they are the one who's going to break the silence. They have their own audience, and we need them. I can see because I was from a nobody. Like people always mention like how I have like 1,000 followers and now I have like thousands of followers, and the job and the responsibility is not, oh, I'm so happy because now I'm popular. No, I tell everyone, the more followers you have and people are following you for the Palestinian cause, you have to advocate. So it's not simply I'm popular. No, it's I'm popular now, I have my own followers and audience, I need to speak more about Palestine.
Okay. Also, some netizens also like raised doubts about the incidents of like asking whether there's truly has interception, like whether there was like internet access on the boat and whether the video release were authentic. So what would you say to this question, that questioning the credibility of what happened?
I think Sumut Nusantara Command Center has done a really good job to portray that, because they are, beside Global Sumut Flotilla, they have their own tracker in their website. Our Sumut Nusantara Command Center also have from Dr. Hanif. He was the one who created the Sumut Nusantara tracker that was very much more detailed than what Global Sumut Flotilla. And then surprisingly, the people from the outside, from not only Malaysians, from the Italy and Spain, they were the one who was using the Sumut Nusantara tracker because it was very detailed. So I think the Sumut Nusantara tracker really tracked where we were going, where we intercepted. So I'm sure it's not just a acting purpose. We were on the boat, we were updating all the time, and then the tracker is a legit one. We were on Barcelona, went to Tunisia, to Italy, to Greece, and to come back to Malaysia, and people say no, they are not going to Gaza, and some will say we were going to Sabah. I was like shocked because the tracker is to track us, and I'm sure that they don't open the tracker because when we got intercepted, 4 million Malaysians opened the tracker to check. So I'm sure that those who were speaking, who was talking rubbish about that, it's not involved in the 4 million. They were just turning blind over that. And it was so funny because, like I say, you have the phone. I think everyone was talking about us during our interception. So it was so amazing how there would be some people who say like this is just an acting purpose. You don't even, how do I say, you won't even believe like 30 days or 35 days on a boat is not a simple thing. You know, so we won't be acting to be on the sea for 30 days. What, are we insane? We can just sleep at home. So yeah.
Okay, all right. So after now, like previously, before you, after the GSF mission, right? How has your perspective changed, like both personally in the context of humanitarian activism?
I'm sure that now we have a lot more of advocating or awareness, things that should be done, because now people are looking at us. People are looking at me and all the activists that went to the Global Smoke Filter as someone. And Mr. Nadir already said, now when we complete the mission, you return to Malaysia not as the same person that you were before the mission, because people will look up to you and they know you were advocating for Palestine. And I really like to be called that, to be labeled that, to be presenting Malaysia, to be sharing more about the Palestinian cause. And after the mission, the most important thing is not like how do I bring food to Gaza. It's more than that. It's like how do I gain knowledge and how do I be someone with knowledge about Palestine so I can advocate what is the importance of Palestine, like why we need to have Palestine in our hand, in global context, in geopolitical context, and also in Islamic context, because we know like how close Baitul Maqdis or Palestine to us. It was stated in the Quran as Sham. Sham country is actually Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, and also Jordan, Palestine, and Syria. So all the 4 countries are once mentioned as Sham. And why Quran mentioned Sham? And why Quran didn't mention Urdun as Jordan? Why the Quran didn't mention Palestine? Sorry. And Quran mentioned Sham, meaning one day when Palestine is free, there will be. This is like Dr. Fatah Al-Waisi. He was a researcher for the Palestine. He mentioned that one day Sham country will be connected, will be combined, meaning Jordan, Syria, Palestine, and also Lebanon will once combine to be Sham country back. And I believe that because we know like Al-Quran is a very evergreen kitab, it's a very original and won't change and whatnot. And then we know like how Palestine is very related to us for the Isra Mi'raj. We know how the 5 prayers, Zuhur, Asar, was once diarahkan or started from the Isra Mi'raj. And then we know how our Prophet Nabi Muhammad SAW prayed as the imam for all the malaikat, for all the guardians behind. You know, it was so and also Palestine is also the first qiblah for the Islam. After that is Masjid al-Haram. And then what else can I say? That's a lot. And then also Palestine is also like our, I'm not sure, endowment, wakaf land of the wakaf land for us Muslim. So there's a lot of Islamic relation from Palestine to Islam. So that is the one knowledge that I need to, like I said to you before, it's just like points, and I need to learn more about the points. So when people are asking me, why are you advocating for, why are you guarding, why do we need Palestine besides the geopolitical, let me share you about from the Islamic perspective. That is an honor to share because I'm a proud Muslim, and I think it's an obligation for us Muslim to be advocating in that way. Yeah.
All right. Okay, what do you want general public, going forward, what sort of support do you believe is most helpful, like from governments or NGOs or like the public for volunteers for missions of this nature?
I always mention that there's 4 things that you can do. In Malay, it's more like kongsi, tulis, kongsi, doa, dan derma. It's like write, share, donate, and pray, doa. So all these 4 things is very crucial, is very necessary for us. It's an active participation, because I'm sure we don't need all the 3 millions or 4 millions Malaysia to be on the boat. So we only need some participant, all the representative from the Malaysian, to go on the sailing boat, and everyone has their own role in the Palestine issue, in the Palestine cause. So like I mentioned to the radio announcer, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for amplifying the voices, because we know when we speaking in social media, it stays there. My audience is in social media. We know Zizi Kirana has her own circle of social media, and then P. Rahmat has his own circle. And then when we speaking to the a radio announcer, we have their own circle, and then Sinar Daily has your own followers and stuff. So when people are calling us, inviting us to do this and that, I said like it's my pleasure if this can amplify the voices to a lot more audiences, to give a very informative sharing, and this is a wake-up call, then just call me. I said that it's an honor to be sharing this tip, even it's the same question over and over again, because I mentioned like if people are asking the same question, meaning they don't know. Even if it's like 5 or more than once the question was asked, I say that meaning we need to give the answer, no matter when people ask, meaning they still didn't know about that. So it's an obligation, because we've been on the sailing boat. People saw us as someone and something. So yeah, I said we have to do that. And also we have NGOs, we have multiple NGOs who went on the boat, so that helps also. And then the government were very, very helpful throughout the mission. We have the YB, our Prime Minister, mashallah, he even do a live session with us before interception, so just to let us know that the government is with us and we will protect you. And mashallah, it's so amazing, people around the world was saluting Malaysia, because during the time that we were in cell, we don't have any diplomats coming in our jail to search, to call me, to have a word with me. No, we don't have any political relation with the IOF, with the Israeli government. So we just wait and see. In 72 hours, we know we will be released. But people from other part of the country, they have diplomats who came to the jail to negotiate with the participant. So they were saluting, because Malaysia, mashallah, they said Malaysia didn't have any political relation, but you guys can go very early. You know, that is an honor. And then we came to Turkey, and then we have the Malaysian consular in Turkey. They were really, really good to us, because we been in Turkey with nothing. They took all of our stuff. We only have our passport and then the jail clothes. So they actually help us to buy clothes so that we will be more happy. And then they even cook for us Malaysian foods. So I think the Malaysian community is very, very, very helpful, and then very supportive. And then we saw like during our time when we in jail, people were having demonstration in the Dataran Merdeka, I believe, and then they were going to the US embassy. That was a very, very good move to show the world, or to show the Palestine, what we are doing is for you. And then we are showing to Palestinians, we are here for them. We are not silenced. Okay, and then that actually, they were very happy. All the Palestinians were saying, one of the Palestinians met me and he said like, thank you for doing this. It's my first time that I am very proud to be here in Malaysia with you guys, because something is happening, you know.
All right. Okay, amazing. So with the ceasefire agreement, right, can we trust them, like given the past instance where your promises were broken? And also for the support, right, not just how can we like broaden the spread the awareness, not just Malays and also Muslim. How like, can you say something to like for the bigger community, like non-Malays and the Muslim?
Yeah. So yeah, we couldn't really trust them, but we are celebrating the ceasefire as how the Palestinians are celebrating. We know there might be, you know, killings happen. Today killings happened. They didn't actually follow what was agreed in the ceasefire. And then we know like the past 2 days, Saleh Ja'farawi was killed. You know, so we couldn't trust them. They are liars. So, but what we are doing now, we are supporting whatever happens now. We are supporting. Some humanitarian aid trucks were getting into Gaza, so we celebrate that. And then we were giving all support if they need. And then I'm not sure, but Sumut Nusantara Command Center probably had planned something. For the ceasefire agreement, probably they would channel some of the humanitarian aid truck as well. And also for the non-Muslim and non-Malays, I really think like I support what ZRA was mentioned. If we could have participants from non-Malays or from Indians or Chinese, that would actually be really good move, because they have their own audience, like I said. So I'm not sure, because I'm not in the ground team or command center team, but I believe they have planned something to help amplify the voices for the other communities as well.
All right. Okay, finally, before we end, like, what is your hope for the future of the similar humanitarian initiative, and what would success look like for you and for Gaza? And perhaps you could also share a bit about the upcoming humanitarian mission, like via the Rafah route, if I'm not mistaken, and also what are the plans so far?
So I believe that what we are doing is actually an effort to free Palestine. We are not going on a sail for 30 days to free Gaza, because we know we were getting intercepted earlier. We know that we were intercepted, so we have the belief that we might break the siege, but we also believe that we might get intercepted. So there is this and that probability. But what we are saying, it's a successful mission because we already break the silence, as I mentioned, and also what we can see is different global movement. People are speaking about Palestine in all around the world. So that is a very good movement, and the government will be pressured by that. So when the governments around the world pressured, we know that Palestine will be free eventually. So I always believe, calm myself or have a good positive reaction, because in the end, Palestine will be free, as what Islam Islam believe that inshallah one day we will be praying together in Baitul Maqdis. And also I like to mention, like, I like to use Prophet Muhammad. He was the one who opened Mecca, Fathul Mecca, but then throughout his life, from he was a baby, he was an orphan, and then he went to Ta'if, how people in Ta'if were treating him badly, and then he went to this and that, hijrah, and then his wife died, Khadijah died, and then things will happen he got a very sad, depressing life throughout the journey. But then and it's what makes us believe is, in the end, we know Fathul Makkah will happen, but Prophet Muhammad didn't know Fathul Makkah will happen. But then he went all of this with patience, with sabar, but then in the end Fathul Makkah is happening, and then you can see now how Islam has spread all over the world. So what I believe we are doing now is an effort, like what Prophet Muhammad is teaching us. So I believe what we are doing is something that relates to Prophet Muhammad. He was also the one advocating, or Prophet Muhammad also actively participate in the Free Palestine before, and then I believe I learned from that, because in the end Fathul Makkah is happening. Okay, and then I believe what we are doing is an effort towards Fathul Palestine. You know, it's a journey. So I believe in that, and I hope in that. So what we are doing now is not nothing. It's something. Even what you are doing now, Sharifah, is actually something. You were having one podcast, the Palestinian Diaries, is actually something. Probably you won't see it now. Probably you would think like, this is all not necessary. We don't have to advocating about this and that. We don't have, no. It's actually something, and it's good to see people are talking more about Palestine, because one day when Palestine already freed, we would look at all the things that we've done. This is what we have done. We have done a lot for the Palestine, and that is something to be proud of. You know, instead of you sitting and doing nothing, doing probably a podcast on funny story. I didn't say it's not good, but then we need something to advocate about what is happening in the world, and Palestine is very close to our heart. I think it's a very good initiative. This is a very good initiative. Yeah.
All right. So Iylia, maybe you want to have like few words for like audience who's tuning in right now on TikTok, maybe.
Oh, okay. So for all those who are watching on TikTok, thank you for coming, and I think we had a really good conversation with Sharifah, and thank you for tuning us in TikTok, and I hope I believe someone was screen recording this right now, because every time I did a live TikTok with anyone, they would screen record and they would share. And please share this. Don't share the silly stuff on TikTok. Don't edit any silly videos of me. But please share this podcast to all your social medias to amplify the voices, because I know you have your own role as well. So, and I thank you. Actually, this was my first sharing session in English. I was actually waiting for English sharing session, because I got all the invitation in Malay. I didn't say it was. I just need someone to invite me for a English session, so we can broaden the audiences to those who can speak Malay, those who cannot speak Malay but can speak English. So thank you for having me, and thank you for tuning in Sinar Daily, or the Palestinian Diaries.
All right, Iylia, thank you so much for sharing your journey, and also for reminding us that humanitarian work is not just about aid, it's about courage, strength, and also compassion. Your story is testament to the strength of ordinary people doing extraordinary things for justice and also humanity. To our listeners, if we hope that today's conversations inspire you to stay informed, get involved, and also continue standing in solidarity with the people of Palestine and those affected. You've been listening to Palestinian Diaries with me, Sharifah Shahira, on Sinar Daily. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and also stay tuned for more updates on the ground. So until next time, take care, and let's keep standing on humanity. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Assalamualaikum.
The world's unfolding, stories untold, voices rising and we're breaking the mold. Fearless and bold, we're taking the lead, empowering minds. That's what we see. Seeing our dailies unfold, shining bright and told. Voices rising and we're breaking the mold. Fearless and bold, we're taking the lead, empowering minds. That's what we see. Seeing our daily, shining bright. News that's bold, news that's right.
Thank you.